Hello and welcome. Did you not enjoy that anointed song? Oh my gosh, look who I have. LaToya Turrentine-Brown. Hi,
Hey,
welcome to another episode of Giving Us Something to Talk About. I'm so excited to have you here. How are you?
I am actually amazing. I'm doing very, very well.
You should be. Your song is a blessing. Bless your name is rising up on these charts. So we're gonna get into it and get to it and talk about it, okay?
Yes, ma'am. I'm ready.
All right. So you're a second generation gospel artist, worship leader, and speaker. How did growing up in a musical household shape the woman and minister you are today?
I am actually fourth generation.
You fourth generation. Oh my goodness.
Yes. So
What?
my great grandfather, Cleveland Tyler, he was a quartet gospel singer. Then his daughter, my grandmother, Evelyn Turrentine, quartet singer. Then my dad, Curtis Turrentine Jr., singer, songwriter, sound engineer, guitar player, and then there's me. So I'm
And
fourth.
it's not just then there's you was a big deal. My goodness, came off of all that. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So how has that shaped you as a woman and minister?
Oh my gosh. So it's always so funny, and I really just recently, you know how like you experience something and it's so normal to you that you don't really realize it's like a thing. So my first
Hmm.
time ever being on stage, I was 11 years old, but it was
Wow.
30,000 people in the audience.
Where were you?
Yes, so my grandmother headlined a festival in Upper Michigan called the Wheatland Festival, and it was
Hmm.
majority people who don't look like us. I think my family actually may have been the only African Americans in the entire audience. I think we were the only ones.
Wow.
And it was like a weekend festival. It kind of reminded you of like a Woodstock kind of situation, very much like
Hmm.
peace and love, everybody hanging out, cabin
Hmm.
kind of
Hmm.
thing. And my grandmother headlined that event, and she was just so proud. She heard us like singing in the basement, and I'm the oldest of the grandchildren here. And so
Hmm.
I used to make them just do whatever I wanted them to do. So I was singing, and we were just immersed in music, right? So singing was what we did. So we learned like songs in vacation Bible school and that kind of thing. And so I was writing songs at 11 years old, but I didn't realize I'm writing songs. You know, we're just making up stuff, and I'm teaching them the songs, and we're singing the song.
Right.
She made us get up on stage in front of all those people and perform that song. And so
Wow.
when I tell that story, when people ask me how growing up in a musical family has shaped me, because I think that I've been so immersed in like richness and things that are not, I guess, considered normal for so long that I didn't realize how rich and how extraordinary my upbringing was. And so I think I'm in
Oh
a
yes.
season now where I'm really understanding like how like you know how the story of David and how like all those years being in the field as a shepherd really like shaped him as a king.
Hmm.
And I don't think
Hmm.
in the time you viewed it in that way, I feel like that is the culmination of my life. I feel like a lot of what's happening in this season was shaped before I got here, and I'm just now starting to turn around and look back and see the fullness of that journey and how it went.
Hmm.
So I'm
Mm.
in a season of reflection now, and growing up in a family full of people whose singing, ministry, and creativity was so normal for them. I don't think I really
Hmm.
appreciated it until now.
Wow, that's phenomenal. That's phenomenal. Now, you describe worship as a lifestyle, both on and off stage. What does that actually look like day to day as a wife and mom?
Living the life that I sing about, really honestly
Okay.
meaning it. I remember a couple years ago I did a fundraiser concert when I was um really starting out as like a solo artist, and I wanted
Hmm.
to record and I wanted to put music out, and that stuff costs money. So I did like a fundraising concert, and I remember the Lord had been dealing with me about just my walk during that time.
Hmm.
And I
Hmm.
um he told me, so I had put out one record, And then I was getting ready to do another one. And the fundraiser was for the second record. And the Lord was basically telling me that he was taking me on a journey with this upcoming music and that it wouldn't be like the first one. So the first one was more experimental. It was more of like a coming out, more of me expressing my
Mm-hmm.
creativity, more of me learning the ropes. But the second one was like, I'm taking you on this journey. I'm teaching you some things, and you are going to not only live what you sing about, but you're going to sing what you're already living. There's a difference. Like
Wow.
it's cliche. Like people say all the time, you gotta live the life you sing about. And the Lord is like, yes,
Mm-hmm.
you have to live the life that you sing about. But there is this experiential knowledge that comes from walking with me that I'm about to give you. And that's what I want you to sing about. I want you to actually see
Wow.
what you're living with me. And so it was a very like transparent journey, a very open, this is where God is dealing with me. I had a miscarriage during that season. I had just all these different
Mm.
things happen. And that's where the Lord was really like shifting me in ministry. So when I say that worship is a lifestyle, like the Bible says to present our bodies a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable unto
Yes.
God, which is our reasonable service. So when I'm
Mm-hmm.
coaching and when I'm teaching worship teams and other ministers and minstrels, like the young people that are coming up under me, like that's our reasonable service literally just means the least we can do. Like the least you can do
Yes.
is to be
Yes.
open, honest, and transparent before the Lord. That's the least you can do. And
That's
to make
right.
sure when you stand up
That's
with
right.
people, you have clean hands and a pure heart. So living a lifestyle of
That's
not perfection, but repentance and purity toward the
mm-hmm.
Lord, where when I don't get it right, my heart posture is to not sit in it, but to constantly strive to get it right. That's what I
Wow. That's
mean.
phenomenal. That's good for your heart posture. That's phenomenal. So I want to go back a little bit because I can remember the Lord will put you on my heart on certain occasions. And you were going through something. And I felt like it might have been doubt, but you can explain it to us with your career. Can you take us back to that place and what was going on in your heart at that time?
Whew, okay. So during the season, that season that I'm talking about, where the Lord said, I'm about to take you through this journey, there was this,
Mm-hmm.
if I could like name the season, it would just be my love walk. He was dealing with me
Mm.
about my marriage, myself as a
Mm-hmm.
wife, my interpersonal relationships, my extended family, my immediate family, um, how I showed up in the world, and then my relationship with him. He was teaching me how to be a daughter. He was literally teaching me how to be
Mm.
a daughter. And what he taught me in that season is one of the reasons why you're like we are human. We live in a fallen world. So there's going to be trouble. There's going to be strife. There's going to be situation. We're dealing with
Yes.
humans. So humans are going to human.
Mm-hmm.
But in this
Mm-hmm.
particular season, what he was showing me is that some of the people pain that you are experiencing is because this right here, you are not regarding this as priority. This is so
Mm.
you've grown accustomed to having a relationship with me in a way that is almost like so familiar and so common that you're not regarding this as holy. And that's why these are like what you're seeing here is a reflection of what's happening here.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so he had to, like, literally the weekend that my second CD was released,
Mm-hmm.
I testified about the miscarriage that I had 2 months prior to that, right? I had my miscarriage,
Mm-hmm.
found out I was pregnant June 9th.
Mm-hmm.
I I found out I was no, I cut my hair June 9th. I found out I was pregnant June 10th. June
Mm-hmm.
17th was Father's Day. That's when I was supposed to tell my family about the pregnancy. That
Mm-hmm.
ended up being Father's Day weekend, and I was scheduled to lead worship that Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
And I um had on the list to sing that Sunday, Good Good Father. But that
Mm.
Friday, I had just lost my baby. So yes,
Oh
I
my
found out I was
gosh.
pregnant the 10th. I lost the baby the 15th. Father's Day was the 17th. So think about that.
Mm.
This is my
Yeah.
first pregnancy ever. I'm married. We've been married for 5 years. We were trying. It was kind of
Mm-hmm.
like we weren't even like trying for real. It was like we were about to start trying,
Mm-hmm.
and we got pregnant
Mm-hmm.
really quickly. So it was like, Lord,
Mm-hmm.
well, if it wasn't time, then why you you know, it was one of those things. And so the
Mm-hmm.
Lord was like, okay, now let's see. You got good father on the set list. Do you mean it? Am I really?
Mm.
Let's test.
Woo.
Let's and when I tell you, that's when I became a daughter of God. Like I really saw him as daddy in that season.
Yes.
He became
Yes.
that to me in that season. And I think that um that led me through that season where you felt like you needed to pray for me and you could tell that I had experienced just so much. I was learning who I was. I was
Mm.
trying to understand myself. All of my spiritual gifts were starting to be developed and cultivated, and so that comes with pruning. So stuff had to come off.
Yes, it
Stuff had to
does.
be
Yes, it
stripped.
did.
Stuff had
Mm-hmm.
to be
That's good.
uprooted. Stuff had to,
Mm-hmm.
and then there was stuff that had to
Mm-hmm.
be planted and stuff that had to be watered. And so it was a very difficult season spiritually. But naturally and practically, you're walking that out. So, that looks like
Mm-hmm.
unnecessary strife. That looks like people pain. That looks like making mistakes and having a pure heart posture and never intentionally saying or doing anything to harm anybody. But we're human, so somebody take it a certain way. But people not having the skill set to say, "Hey, that hurt me," or "Hey, I didn't understand that," or "Hey, can we talk about that?" So we have a tendency to just be like, "They know exactly what they did," and cut them off. Or you or feel like you did that on purpose, and the whole time the person is like, "No, I really just didn't. I just didn't know what I didn't know, and I didn't mean to. But if we can talk that through, you're helping me become better. You're helping me become
Mm.
supposed
That's
to be."
good.
You know what I mean? And I think, and the Lord was teaching me all those things. He was literally teaching me how to coach other people through having hard conversations, how to be accountable and how to own your stuff and how to be trustworthy in relationships and how to really like bear the fruit of the spirit, which really is just the character of God. Like bearing the fruit of the spirit is literally being the hands and feet of Jesus. We are walking out the character of God in the earth. So when the Bible says, "Oh, taste and see that the Lord is good," we literally become the fruit of God for other people to taste
Yeah.
and see that the Lord is good. That was that season. But in my humanity, in my flesh, I had to go through some hard stuff. I experienced a lot of people pain,
Mm.
of
Did
rejection.
you end up having to set boundaries after you came out of, the suffering part of that?
Well, the thing that I'm learning, and so the Lord taught me about boundaries in that season too. And he taught me that boundaries
Mm-hmm.
are very biblical. And the first example of boundaries was when Adam and Eve sinned in the garden. Like literally, God sets boundaries, but what we don't even realize, like a lot of times the boundaries that we're setting are not about the behavior of other people. The boundaries that we're
Mm.
setting are to protect what God is doing in us.
That's
So in
good.
that season, I just became more self-aware than I've ever been. I am extremely, so you probably can't tell me anything about myself that I don't already know.
Mm.
You can, if the thing is, I'm in a season now where if you tell me something that I may not be aware of in the moment, if it's actually true of me, I know it's in me, and you just bringing it to light that it's something I need to deal with in the moment. It's not something
Mm.
you remember, like that's how much he's been like, "No, oh baby, I know it's in there." So the boundaries, the thing that I learned about boundaries are that boundaries are to protect what God is doing in us, not to control other people's behavior.
That's good. That is so good. That's
That
good. I
that was
love it.
probably one of the biggest things that I learned in that season, and to be so accountable to God in your walk with him that you know the difference in being held accountable to your behavior or being accused of something that
Mm-hmm.
other people just don't understand. There's a difference.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like
That's good.
you can,
Yeah.
I pray to keep myself postured in a way where I'm humble enough for you to be able to tell me about myself, but I'm wise enough now to know the difference in being held accountable. And this is something I need to deal with versus, oh, this actually isn't a me issue. This is actually a you issue. But I'm going to take what you said and pray about how to release that back to you, because that's actually not a me thing. That's a you thing.
That's good. Ooh.
Because that's easy
So when
to
you
do.
step back onto stage or into a studio after that season, what was different about the way you approached your gift?
So I, ooh, that's a loaded question. I'm gonna tell you why. So that's a loaded question because a lot of the issues that came to light that I didn't realize were there in the previous season,
Hmm.
they didn't go away. Some of those
Mm.
insecurities, some of those issues, they just came to the top. And because I'm so self-aware now, they are literally now the thing that keeps me before the Lord. Like there's this
Mm.
there's this particular area in regard to insecurity that I was actually just telling my brother and one of my prayer partners. I feel like, and I could be wrong, I'm not, I feel like in a certain way that the Lord may allow that to always be there as the thorn in my flesh to keep me humble before Him.
Mm. Wow. Okay.
I don't know that I'll ever be fully delivered from a certain level, not altogether, but a certain
Hmm.
level of insecurity and a little bit of imposter syndrome, because it helps
Mm.
keep me, not because we have creative people, the spirit of Lucifer is attracted to us, right? And when you are creative, when you are gifted, there is a certain level of, for lack of a better word, glory that comes with that.
Hmm.
People are going to lavish compliments on you. It's inevitable, right? You
Yes.
can't stop that. And you also can't dishonor God, people, or what He's putting you by not receiving the compliments. I think sometimes as
Hmm.
kids, we've been taught that being humble is not accepting compliments, not being able to just say thank you. It's always
Thank you.
be the
Hmm.
glory, and the people be looking like, I just said you did a good
You know
job.
what I'm saying?
Like, we know to God be the glory because that's who gave you the gift. But you did a good job, girl. And so I've
Right.
always struggled with that though. But in this season, I've just been more aware of that.
Hmm.
I literally, I'm telling you, I just had all these things that you're asking me. That's why I was so excited, because I'm like, I've just been having these conversations. This is right on in line with what God has been saying. For me personally, I've been trying really hard to be careful that I don't walk past the mirror consistently and start seeing myself as beautiful like Lucifer did.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like, I know that I have a gift. I know that I have a call. I know that God uses me. I've seen the effects of that. But that's not because I'm so beautiful. That's not because I'm so gifted. That's not because. And so I keep a posture of constantly pouring back out so that I don't start hoarding His glory for myself.
Mm. That's
When
good. And that's a
you are used
lesson.
to, when you're used to glorify God publicly, I think the spirit of Lucifer creeps in when you start feeling like, since the glory comes through me so well, it should also start coming to me.
Wow. Woo.
That's one of the things that I teach when I'm coaching and teaching the minstrels, and I'm doing like the praise and worship seminars and the different stuff. Like,
Hmm.
the glory is going to, people going, the accolades, they coming. But you better make it your business to pour that back out and give it to the person that it belongs to in your private time, in your secret time, before you stand before these people. Make sure you are empty. Pour all that back out. Give all of that back to God, so that when you standing in front of them, you ain't full of nothing but whatever He want to do. And
All my gifted and talented people, y'all better listen.
that's the posture that I carry into this season. And I gained that in the last season, because the last season I sat in condemnation and rejection and not feeling good enough,
Mm.
feeling overlooked and imposter syndrome and comparison. And I was convinced that I was retired and that I had given all I had to give when it came to this music thing, and that nobody else want to hear nothing else I had to say. And I'm going to focus on parenting my baby and coaching these moms and going to school, and y'all can have that music stuff.
And
And
look
it
what
wasn't
we,
I wasn't pouting. You know, some people just be pouting. And no, I genuinely thought God had released me.
yeah,
He was like,
I
man, I
guess.
was giving you a season of rest. I don't know where you got the word retirement from. You made that up. That ain't me. You being disobedient. Now get up. I was like,
Oh
oh,
my God. I remember that. I was just like, she, she, I was like, wait, what?
mama, I was so serious.
You are. You were serious. I know you are. You were serious. Like,
All that
you would answer me like, yeah, okay, God bless you. Because you had sat in that.
I was like, I pray to God she don't think I'm being disrespectful, but I'm really not
I
doing that
didn't.
anymore.
I didn't feel no disrespect. I just felt that you were resolute, but I
I
knew that wasn't God.
You were not. I actually, that came up in my timeline again, either earlier this year or last year, when you were like, I'm not even about to go back and forth with you. I know who to talk to. And I was like, dang, she can tell on me.
Like something, we not clicking on, we not on clicking, but God did it. So, do you believe that "Bless Your Name" could have been written or felt the same way without going through that valley first?
No, absolutely not. I Will Bless Your Name would have just been a great song that I probably would have sat on if I was still in the same mindset that I was in before. I would not have done the work
Wow.
that I'm doing now to make sure, because we're in a season now where, like, making disciples, I think we've all known the Great Commission to go and make disciples of all men, teaching,
Mm-hmm.
I think
Mm-hmm.
we've known that, but I think for a while, because we've been hearing Jesus is coming soon forever. And I think for a long
Yes.
time, we've been kind of dragging our feet because we feel like we have time. But I think it's becoming
Mm-hmm.
more evident that we don't, and that he's coming
Mm.
than we realize, sooner than we
Yes.
want to believe, right? And so I'm in more of a till all have heard season. And so I view my gift
Mm.
differently now. I'm not the stereotypical gospel artist. I'm not a gospel artist because I want to be a gospel artist. I'm not a gospel artist because I want to be a star. I'm a gospel artist because that is the vehicle that God is choosing to use to get me in the room to say what he's trying to say. That's it.
That's good.
The only reason I'm doing that. And so
That's good.
that's when I get songs like this, they even when I recorded the song in 2024.
You
But
did?
yes, my live recording was in 2024. And
I
the
thought
song,
that was last year.
no,
Oh my gosh.
2025 was a blur to me. It was a blur.
Mm.
My grandfather passed away the recording was July 27th, and my grandfather passed away on August 1st. And I spent the rest
Oh
of
my gosh.
2025 grieving.
I'm so sorry. I didn't know
Just
that.
grieving, and it wasn't just his death, but grieving the end of an era, because he's the patriarch of our family. And so
Mm-hmm.
literally grieving the end of an era, nothing is the same anymore. Nothing. And I
Wow.
think that because there's nothing new under the sun, and because
That's right.
we don't wrestle against flesh and blood, I believe that there are so many things that have happened in my life that were spiritual markers for new seasons, for different seasons that I was
Mm-hmm.
in or that I'm
Mm-hmm.
currently in. And I believe that my grandfather's death in the natural marked the end of an era in the spirit, and an awakening or a mandate to, like, step up in some areas for different people in my family. Like, me and my siblings are all
Mm-hmm.
in very similar seasons in being held accountable to live a certain way and present a certain way and even produce in a certain way now, with just the way
Mm.
things are going. And so
Mm.
songs like I Will Bless Your Name, every song that's going to be released now from this new record that's coming up in the fall,
Mm-hmm.
I Will Bless Your Name is the only song on that record that is new. Every
Wow.
other song on that record is a song that I have previously written or previously recorded, but it's being re-released. When I went to do that record, I tried for months to write new songs. I was so frustrated trying to write new songs, and the Lord ended up telling me a couple weeks before we actually started pre-production on that record. He said, I'm intentionally not allowing you to write new songs. Go back and pick up what I previously gave you. I'm about to breathe on it again.
Wow.
And I was like, okay. And he said, a lot of those songs were released in the season where the people's hearts were not prepared to hear. I am opening ears and I am softening hearts. I'm breathing on these songs again. And now you are in a season to carry the sound where I needed to go. You weren't before. You released it
Wow.
and you let it die. Now I have you where you'll carry it where I need you to carry it. And I'm empowering you to carry it where I need you to carry it. So pick it back up. I'm breathing on it again.
My Lord.
So
And we can't wait.
I would not have, you said, would I have been able to release I Will Bless Your Name in the same way if I had not gone through that? And the answer is no. And I know that that's true because, like I said, a lot of the songs that are coming behind I Will Bless Your Name were already released, but it's different this time.
Mm-hmm. It's definitely different. Now, what would you say to the woman sitting at home right now who is gifted, called, but quietly questioning whether to keep going?
To keep going. I would say, first of all, your feelings are valid and it's okay to quietly question. God ain't scared of our he
He
said,
is not.
what does the Bible say? Ask and it shall be given, seek and you shall find. He ain't scared of our questions. Ask your questions. Have your questions. That's really, to me, that's a form of intimacy, to have those questions and be vulnerable enough to ask them. Sit with them.
That's
Sit in them.
good.
The difference in complacency, disobedience, and intimacy, where you're just questioning, is what you do with the answers or the lack of response. Sitting, laying down, and dying is not the same thing as having questions and going anyway. Being and going anyway. When in the Bible, when the Lord told who was it, Joshua and Caleb, to be strong and courageous, he was telling them to be something in the midst of what they were feeling. So he never said, don't feel afraid. He said, don't be afraid. He never said, don't be scared. He said, be strong and courageous. So feeling one thing, we're human. He gave us our emotions to feel. It's okay to feel that, to question that, to wrestle with that. Be it sit in that tension, wrestle with that. Do like Jacob did, right? Wrestle with the Lord, but get up. Like, take that fight.
That's right.
Oh my God, I'm gonna tell you this. When we right before we got ready to do, and I'm bringing it back to that point. Right before we got ready to do the live recording in 2024. Remember, I was coming out of a season. I sat down. I did not sing for 5 years. I did not sing for 5 years.
5 years?
It was 5 years where I may have sang maybe 3 times, sprinkle here and there within 5 years. So now here we go, 2024, and the Lord has told me to go do this thing, do this live recording and record this live music. And for 5 years, I thought I was done. Right? So long story short, I'm talking to my brother. My brother is the producer for this record. And I'm telling him my apprehensions. I'm telling him my fears. I'm telling him my concerns. I'm telling him what's wrong with me, what's wrong with my voice. The rejection that I've experienced, how people have made me feel, what I think people gonna think, all the stuff. And my brother is like, yeah, I hear you. I hear you. He said, I've heard you tell me all the reasons why you can't, don't want to, shouldn't. He said, in a sense, I've heard, Lord, if it be your will, let this cup pass from me. So I've been hearing that. We've been saying that for months.
Wow.
He said, the only thing I haven't heard yet is nevertheless.
Man, he ain't let you out there. He ain't let you out
He
of it.
did not. I said, all right, I'll be at the studio next week, Wednesday. That
Man.
was the day I started moving in the direction of recording this upcoming record. That was the day that I was, and let me tell you something, I was not resolute. I just did it anyway. I wasn't
Mm.
sure. I wasn't more confident than I was before. I still was just as insecure as I was when we started, but I went from Lord, if it be your will. That was a season. Like the Bible is so amazing to me.
It is.
Like
Mm-hmm.
the Bible when it talks about types and shadows, how like these are
Mm-hmm.
scriptures
Mm-hmm.
that represent more than what it says.
Yes.
That
Yes.
example of Jesus in the garden is literally representative of entire seasons that we sit in. We literally sit
Mm-hmm.
in seasons of, Lord, if it be your will, let this cup pass. I'm like, Lord, I know this what you said, because I'm not smart enough to make this up on my own, and I don't want this bad enough to have decided to do this on my own. So I know this is you. However, if it's a chance that I don't really have to do this without being disobedient, can you kind of give me that? And my brother said, I done heard this for months. What I didn't hear yet is
He was
nevertheless.
sick of you.
He said, we've been standing in the hallway for 3 months. Either we going back outside or we gonna stay in. Because we not sitting in this hallway no more. We going in the left door or the
Lord
right
have
door. What we
mercy.
doing? And so to the woman who is sitting in, Lord, if it be your will, it's time to say nevertheless.
Not my will,
Not my
but
will,
thine will be
but
done.
yours be
My
done.
God.
And the
That's
thing
awesome.
about God is,
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to call you to something that He's not going to strengthen you for. There is a grace for it. And for so many of us, we are in the season where God is telling us, like, I know what you experienced before. I know. I was there with you when you experienced it.
Yes.
But
That's
this
good.
ain't that. Go.
Yes.
I got you.
That's good.
This ain't that.
He was there the whole time.
He was there the whole time.
You
I
said
saw it.
that. Yes.
Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of like, do you realize that we wouldn't have Psalm 23 if David wasn't running for his life?
Yes.
God is there. He said, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil because you are with me. I'm running for my life. This man is trying to kill me, and you are with me.
Trying to kill him.
Yeah,
Trying to kill him.
I'm sorry. This is a different season.
Lord have mercy. So I've seen your husband, Darcel,
Okay.
support you outwardly. We see it outwardly. What has his support meant to your journey, especially during that season you were in?
I would not have sang for the Detroit Pistons if it was not for my husband. There are a whole lot of opportunities that I've gotten that have come because, my name has been mentioned in rooms and they felt like I had the character to step in the room and step in the opportunity, even if I didn't feel like I had the gifting to match the opportunity, right?
Mm-hmm.
But my husband sees so much in me that he goes to bat for me in ways that scare me.
Wow.
Like, if I told y'all some of the conversation, I'm going to tell you this. After I sang, so I've sang the national anthem for the Detroit Tigers, and I did it twice for the Detroit Pistons. I just did game one of the playoffs for the Detroit this past Sunday, and in March I did one of the games as well. But the opportunity for me to sing for the Tigers, one of my friends, shout out to Kevin Stewart, one of my friends had a previous engagement and couldn't do it, and he gave them my name. Mm-hmm. And so that's how I got to do that. But my husband took the video from that and sent it to the Detroit Pistons. And that's how I got the call from the Detroit Pistons. And then I got the call for the Detroit Pistons, did the Detroit Pistons, and got an email. No, I'm sorry. This was before I got the Detroit Pistons. The day that I did the Detroit Tigers, I came home and checked my email, and I had an email from the Detroit Lions thanking me for my submission to sing for the Detroit.
What?
And immediately I looked at my phone and said, Darcel Brown, what did you do? It's time, man. We might as well do
You
it.
had your back. You had your back.
My husband's support forces me to be brave than I'm naturally inclined to be.
Mm, that's awesome. That's a covering. That's called covering. So
Come on.
I love it. Did anything unexpected happen during any of those performances that the audience didn't know about?
All of them.
Or did anything special happen?
Every single one of them. So the Tiger,
What?
it's so, you got to think about it. Like logistically, there's so many moving parts, right? There's so many things happening on game day. So
Mm-hmm.
the Tigers, there was some kind of miscommunication where my handler, the person who came and got me and was supposed to give me my markers and tell me where to stand, comes to get me, and they're hearing instructions in real time for where to stand me, right? So they tell me I'm going to be standing in one spot, and then you hear the announcing of the color guard, and the color guard is marching with their flags right across the spot where they were told to position me to stand. And there's cameras everywhere. There's a stadium full of people. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this particular game was a sold out game. So the stadium is full.
Mm-hmm.
And we are literally moving around the field outside of the shot of the camera because the camera is on the color guard. And they're like, where do you, like, we can't get to our normal marker because where do we, so, and I don't have a pitch pipe in my hand. I do not have perfect pitch. So I have to keep my composure and try to keep the key in my head.
Oh,
I'm trying to follow this person and figure out
you're
where
a professional.
they finally get me to my marker, and there's no countdown. They get me to my marker. I hear the announcer announce my name, and my eyes have to turn the camera and sing and pray to God that I'm in the right key.
Oh my God. What?
That was the Tigers game. The Pistons was a little bit, it was still chaotic. They're still, like the team is on the court. I'm standing on the court waiting for them to put me in position and count down. The teams, they're practicing. They're warming up. So the ball is flying across my head, around me, everything. And the lady was literally like, here, come stand right here by me so you don't get bopped in the head with a ball. Because they're on the, like, it was just so crazy. But it's such an exciting experience, but people just don't realize the nerve
What it takes to
and
get
the
it.
composure that you have to have in those moments. Now, this last time that I did it, it's a whole different, the energy inside of LCA
Mm,
for playoffs is completely different than a regular season game.
wow.
You have all the
What
normal.
did it mean for you to be on those stages? What did it mean for you to be, especially at the playoffs? How did you feel?
I felt it was unreal. Like it didn't even feel, it felt like I was having the playoffs in particular felt like an out of
Mm-hmm.
body experience. It didn't feel like
Surreal. Mm-hmm.
I was actually there. It was almost like I was watching myself do things.
Wow.
It was crazy. Um, yeah, and then like the little girl in me, I have always in my imagination, like when I would play house and play school and play in all the things, I would see myself in these because this was normal for me based on what I grew up in. So I would see it, but it never felt real for me. I never thought I would actually be doing it. So to
Mm.
be doing it, the little girl in me is like she's standing here watching a life that's not actually hers. And then I
And it's
met Grant
all
Hill.
yours.
I met Grant Hill. Grant Hill was my childhood crush as a little girl.
Yeah, I saw that.
I'm talking about to the point where I text my family group chat and asked my parents, "Do y'all remember who my crush was?" And they both started laughing and said Grant Hill, and I sent them the picture, and they were like, Oh my God. So that's what I mean. It's not even, it doesn't even feel like it's me. It's like that little girl who always felt insecure, who always didn't feel pleased,
Mm.
always is like, oh my God, is this real? Thank you, Lord. What's next?
Because there is definitely more. Now I want to talk about your mentors because you have several here. I see um, Kim Stratton and Park Stewart, of course, your grandmother, the great, the awesome Evelyn Turrentine, AG, Tim Bowman. Have any of them, did any of them speak specifically to your life during your season of in the Valley?
So during that Valley season, the person who literally got in there and snatched me out is Shirley Smith. Shirley Smith um is my vocal coach. And I
Mm-hmm.
remember jokingly on social media one day saying, I need a vocal coach. I need somebody to help me vocally who can like build me up, help me get my mind right, get me together vocally, cuss me out a little bit, and then like pray me back into restoration. Like I was just being silly, you know? And she got in my comment and said, why haven't you called me yet? And we go way back because when I was at C-Tab, she was the minister of music for one of Pastor Mormon's friends in ministry. So she would come over to C-Tab all the time. So her and my dad
Mm-hmm.
know each other, but I had never worked with her in that. So fast forward, finally, I reached out to her in 2023. I
Mm-hmm.
started working with her at the near like the end of 23, I believe. And by 2024, I was emotionally and mentally healthy enough. I didn't say vocally, I said emotionally and mentally healthy enough to consider getting back into doing what God called me to do.
Mm-hmm.
I spent the first
Wow.
3 months with her. We didn't sing anything. She literally said, girl, your voice, we're going to get to that, but I'm here to get your mind right. We got to get your
Mm.
mind to a place where you can even function in your gift. Because I just wasn't,
Mm.
I did not see myself in this way. I didn't see what other people saw. I heard what everybody was saying, but I didn't see it. And I could not mentally or emotionally rise to the occasion. So, vocally, it just wasn't going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So Shirley Smith is the one
Mm-hmm.
who spoke to me in that Valley season. I didn't really reach out to anybody. They didn't even really, I don't even think they really knew that I was struggling in that way. Um,
Did Darcel know?
yeah, yep. He definitely did. And he did not like it. He did not like it, but he in some ways he didn't know how to help me. He tried to
Mm-hmm.
help me in the ways he knew how, but he didn't. Nobody, I really don't think anybody, I had to process through that. I had to work my way through that process. I think that that process was intentional, and I think that I had to do that with God.
Maybe you were healed as you went.
Yep,
They were healed as they went.
yep, I
So
had.
tell us everything about I Will Bless Your Name. Where did the song come from spiritually and creatively?
So I Will Bless Your Name was actually written by my brother Darius James. That's my boy. I've known Darius since Darius was a little drummer boy at House of Prayer and Praise. But Darius James actually wrote that song and arranged that song with my brother Jeremy Turrentine and my little cousin Joshua Turrentine.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that I love and appreciate about Darius is that Darius is very extremely gifted. Darius is anointed for this.
Mm-hmm.
And he's
Mm-hmm.
so gifted that he knows how to write songs for people that bring out the best in them. Like he knows how to,
Mm.
he literally considered me when he wrote the song. You know what I mean? It wasn't like
Wow.
just wrote a sweet song and handed it to me and was like, here, dude. No, he literally wrote it and was like considering me as he's singing the parts through. Like even the key.
Mm.
She gonna tell me this key too high, but she could do this. If she needs to change the key, she can change the key, but she gonna tell me this, but she can do this. And then he sang it in a way where he was like, okay, she sings like this, so I'll sing it like this, so she can. That's how he wrote the song, and it was literally something I would have written for myself, you know. And then
Mm.
what I told him and my brother was, I want an anthem. I want a song where that one song can be my entire set. You call me to sing, and I don't even have to sing two songs. I can sing that one song for 20 minutes. I said I want
Wow.
to embody everything that I am as an artist. So people know that I grew up in quartet, but you also know that I'm very CCM, very worship, but I can also do hardcore
Hmm.
choir. Like, so I want something that allows me a vamp that I can sit in. So it honors my quartet side, but it also honors my CCM worship side. So I can do both in one song. And they put their heads together,
Wow.
and that's what we got.
That's awesome. It is awesome. So now you got a full project coming out. When is this?
The full project will be out in early fall. We haven't released the release date yet, but it's early fall.
Okay.
Yep.
I can't wait. This is awesome. Also, because this is it. This the one.
This
This the one
one,
that's gonna do it. It's
honestly,
I
Tim Bowman Sr. has actually been one of the people who have been pouring into me in that way. I talked to him. He actually called me, which was very surprising
mm-hmm.
to me because I know that he doesn't do that, right? And he was just telling me that he was proud of me. And he's like, you know, I've always been a fan. I've been a fan of you since I met you. I always been. And he was saying that it's not just that it's a good song, because you hear good gospel songs all the time. But as
Right.
an independent recording artist, he said the quality of your lead vocals, your background vocals, the musicality of what the band is doing, and the mix, he said that is professional quality. And I am proud of that. And that is
Oh, that's awesome.
nothing but the grace of God. And for somebody like me who came out of a season of rejection and imposter syndrome and feeling like I wasn't good enough and feeling like for somebody like that to give me a compliment of
Mm-hmm.
that magnitude, it just gave me a little bit more confidence. You're on the right track. God is with you. God has breathed on this. You're doing the right thing. Take your time. Honor your process. This is the one. God's gonna do something with this.
He's doing it. God is doing it. I already know. So where is the coaching and the mentoring ministry headed alongside your music? How you gonna fuse that?
I already have been. So I have been getting it's not abnormal for churches to find out that, you know, I'm not contracted anywhere. So they're like, hey, come work with us, be our worship leader, you know, that kind of thing. So I've been doing that.
Mm-hmm.
I get called to come and lead worship at a church, and I'll go and do that. Well, in this particular season, I have partnered with the church, and I'll be releasing that later. But right now it's just I'm just
Mm-hmm.
honoring just what we're doing and kind of just keeping it, you know. But I've been partnering with them, and the Lord, it was so weird. When I was working on my bio, I kept feeling compelled to put coach in my bio, but not in the way
Mm-hmm.
that I was coaching before. Like the way I was coaching
Mm-hmm.
before was specifically like women, moms, social emotional development, that kind of thing. But the Lord was like,
Mm-hmm.
nope, nope, nope. It's a shift. We're shifting. We're going back to coaching minstrels and creatives and singers. And I was like, okay, Lord. But I didn't have any plans written out. I didn't have anything. And so at the begin no, I'm sorry, New Year's Eve, the Lord had given me, like, me and my husband were working on our like goals for the year. But the way that the Lord
Mm-hmm.
gave it to me wasn't like a list of goals. Like he literally gave me a scripture, told me to go to the scripture, read the scripture, and we went line by line. And he gave it to me as like subheadings and said, this is what
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing with you in this area this year. And this is what I'm doing with you in
Mm-hmm.
this area this year. And this is, and I was like, okay. And so from that came this, um, I don't even know what you would call it. I guess like a coaching plan, um,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
for creatives. And so I thought he gave it to me one way, and I was like, well, we're going to launch this, and we're going to do this, and we're going to call it this, and we're going to call it that. And then in February, I got a call from a church that had seen me minister. It was actually at their church, but they had seen me minister. And the pastor said, I heard God, and I believe that this connection is for this season. And, let's work together to see how we can. And when I tell you every conversation, I was telling them, this is what's on my heart. This is how I function. This is my leadership style. This is the way that I would like to do things. This is what I feel like God is leading me to do. This, and he was like, that's exactly what we need. That's exactly what we're looking for. And I was like, oh my Lord. So this is a season of like coaching and cultivating. I'm not just up there leading worship. You pick the songs, I sing the song. No, I literally get to function as a one of the guys on the bridge, he was saying, I don't even know what to call you. He said, you're like a worship producer or something. I said, a coach. That's it. That's exactly what you are. You're a coach. And I was like, okay, Lord, I see what you did there. I see what you're doing there. And it has been beautiful. Already fruitful. Beautiful.
Wow. That's phenomenal.
So that's
this branches, everything just popping out now.
It's so much. I guess this is my fruitful season. This is my harvest season.
Yeah.
I'm seeing so much fruit already. And I told the pastor in that meeting, I said, my word for this year is alignment. And so everything that I do has to be aligned with where the Lord is taking me and what he's doing. And I know that everybody won't always understand that. And so I'm trying to be really careful to the things that I say yes to and the things that I say no to. So even when I say no, I know sometimes people may feel a way. And especially in Detroit, we have a bad habit of like, when people are honoring God, following God, building systems to set their ministries up or their businesses up to go where God is taking them, when they can't see the direction that the person is moving in, we just start assuming that people are acting funny or people are acting different or we start accusing people of being grand or arrogant because we're so used to functioning a certain way and we're not necessarily what God is saying to them in their lives. What they're doing or not doing doesn't accommodate us. We start adding these negative labels to people. And that has held a lot of people, church people in particular, back from being able to grow with God and expand and step on larger stages and build generational wealth for their families because that crabs in the barrel, you feel like people are outgrowing you, so you acting funny. I had somebody tell me they tried to book me for an event and I said I personally don't even take my bookings anymore. I actually have a system now where I have a booking link and then I have somebody who responds and that kind of thing. And they said, see, that's the problem with these Detroit artists. I shouldn't have to go through somebody else to talk to somebody in my own city.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So like that's
secret.
What do you do with that? And for a long time, I let that affect me because I never want to be accused of being arrogant. That's not my heart at all. But now I'm wise enough to know I'm somebody's mama. I'm somebody's wife.
Yes.
And I'm going to be a good steward over what God has put in my hands. I have to have systems in place because if I let everybody call me for everything, I won't have capacity for me, Jordan, or Darcel. And then everything else that he actually called me to do is going to drop because I'm doing what you want me to do.
That's good. Ooh, that's good.
So my no is just as anointed as what I release when I say yes.
And that's a complete sentence. No.
Absolutely. I literally can't. I absolutely can't. I have to honor, and I even honor you and what you're doing enough to not force the hand of God in something that he's not in. So I know that you see God moving through me and you want that to be a part of what you're doing. But if God is not leading me to do that, it'll be an illegitimate move because I'm not even supposed to be there.
Ooh, that's good. You're not the person for it.
I wasn't even supposed to be there. And I only did it out of guilt because I didn't want you to think I was arrogant. So now we forcing God to move to a place that I wasn't even supposed to be. So where I'm probably actually supposed to be, he can't move here because I'm over there.
That's awesome.
Nope.
I'm so happy for you, girl. You got it. You got it. So 5 years from now, what does the legacy of LaToya Turrentine-Brown look like?
Ooh, 5 years. 5 years from now, I want my daughter to be so proud of me that she wants to be just like me in her own way.
Mm.
That is my goal. In 5 years, I want to have so much fruit in my life that my daughter is living her own version of my childhood, where my daddy was my hero, my biggest musical influence. My grandma was the biggest star in the world to me, and I didn't even realize how normal that was and was not at the same time. That's what I want. I want her to be so proud of me that she's like, oh yeah, being in music ministry, living for God, being in ministry, having a good reputation, having favor over my life with men, walking through doors. She think it's normal to be in the suite for the Tigers game and to be able to go like
it is for her.
To her. She thinks it's normal to be able to walk on the basketball field. I mean, on the basketball court at the Pistons, like that's normal to her, and I stand. Yes, ma'am. That is normal.
Yes, it is.
But
That's
I
your
want
new
her
normal,
to appreciate it, though. I want her to really understand that she is blessed and favored and not entitled. God don't owe her nothing, and neither do we.
That's good.
That's really, and I want that same fruit. Everything that's connected to me and that I'm connected to, I want it to be fruitful. So if I mentor you, if we work together in ministry, I want to see fruit in your life too, because we're properly stewarding our relationship with each other. So whether that be my men, my friendships, the churches that I work with, I want there to be fruit in my life. That's what I want.
I believe that is what's happening right now. In 5 years, we're gonna be like, whoa.
I want my bank account to match too.
It's gonna match it. It's gonna match it. It's gonna match it. It's coming. So where can people find you? We're coming to a close. This has been awesome. Where can people find I Will Bless Your Name? What streaming platforms? Give them to me in order.
All the things. So you can actually just go to LaToya Turrentine-Brown.com, and all of my records pop up right there on the screen. So you can download I Will Bless Your Name right there. You can download Art for Love. You can download Iron Favor's Voice. Those are all older records. But
Iron Favor's Voice. So we remember that.
This new one is the one. I'm telling you, the production quality, everything is just different in this season. But booking, my social media sites, everything. If you just go to LaToyaTurrentine-Brown.com, you'll be able to find me right there. But I'm on Instagram. Okay. I'm on Facebook. I'm on TikTok. Yeah. LaToya Turrentine-Brown.
Everything is going to be on that screen. Y'all see it. Y'all get in touch with my goddaughter. I love her. I Will Bless Your Name is number 1 on the Billboard chart. We're speaking it right now.
Yes, ma'am.
That's for sure. Okay, yes, we're speaking it right now.
Speaking, Mama Tanya. I just want to say before you end that I appreciate you so much. I don't always say it, but I'm extremely observant. And I pay attention, and I can tell when you're praying and when you're paying attention. And so for every time that you've encouraged me, called me out, spoken well of me, spoken into my life, I knew you knew. Even if I wasn't saying it, I may have been too broken to say it or embarrassed or whatever it was, but I saw it. And this right here is the fruit of your secret prayers and your time. I've seen you literally reinvent yourself from the time that I met you to now. You look younger than you did when I first met you. You're glowing, fly, anointed, and bearing fruit. And I appreciate it so much. Thank you for even allowing me to be on your platform. Come on, platform.
I want to say thank you. You can't be having the host crying on their show. I'm going to say thank you. That's because, we just talked about this. But also to God be the glory. I do things behind the scenes. I don't be looking for nothing.
Yes, ma'am.
Because I just love you and all my spiritual daughters and sons. But I'm so proud of you, LaToya. I'm just so thankful that God is doing this for you. And everyone, please, please go download, stream, wherever you get your songs and your records. I Will Bless Your Name by LaToya Turrentine-Brown. Thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for another episode of Giving Us Something to Talk About. We will talk to you soon. God bless.